And we're back, folks. It's another week of the Manson Brothers Show. My brother's rocking the leather YMCA hat. I got to tell you, this one's going to be a little bit polarizing, I think, for everybody.
I think so.
It's definitely a piece of a franchise that gets ignored now, especially
Do you
because
think so?
because of the other things that have gone on with the franchise.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
been all over
Good
the
point.
board, and people are trying to make money and keep making money. I understand it. We got a very special guest. It's going to be an awesome show. He's going to make it all
You
worthwhile.
wait.
And this week, we're going to be talking about Halloween Resurrection. We'll be right back.
Whether you like it or not.
Hey, we're jumping back in. It's another week of the Manson Brothers Show, and we are back with arguably maybe one of the most polarizing episodes we've done, right?
Yeah, I would definitely be controversial.
Yeah, this was like the last of the Halloweens before they went to the new Halloween that then kind of ignored everything from number
Was this,
one.
wait a minute, was this before H2O or?
This was after H2O.
Oh, that's right.
If you
right,
recall,
right.
H2O
Oh, it's
was where you get
2002, correct.
beginning of the footage. And this one, that's, by the way, Halloween Resurrection,
Yep.
had Jamie Lee Curtis was in it. One of the things that people tend to not like is that she was in it for the first 15 minutes,
Yeah,
and then it kind of moved on from there.
Yeah.
It's a super
Like a
interesting
little
concept,
tease.
actually. Yeah, and it's got some kind of name cast to it. It's got
Big time,
Katie
and a lot of people before they got big.
Well, I was going to say Katie Sackhoff, who's now a big kind of horror person, was in it. Who was the
Bianca
model?
Cagich.
Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks.
Was in it. Busta Rhymes was in it.
Bianca
JLC,
Cagich.
obviously. Yeah,
Ian Nicholson from American Pie and many other things.
Oh, yeah,
He's in it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
And so,
got a big
one of
cast.
the things on the rewatch that I kind of discovered from it was it's a little tongue-in-cheek as it relates to the whole reality thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
they put together this situation where, and from what we know of reality, it's basically all fake.
Yeah.
And there's a special place in hell reserved for people who are involved in it in any way, shape, or form.
I agree. I could not agree with you more.
Hopefully everybody agrees with that. It's like people who throw away good whiskey. You're going to be right next to each other down in the fiery pits. When the time
and the
comes.
lower levels. Yeah. But this was also very timely because in 2002, that was sort of like at the height of this reality TV boom that had started in the late 90s. So it was.
Yeah. And again, I think this was a little bit of a poke at it. And I think the other thing I think poking at was, that period of time was a big time for shows like Dawson's Creek, where you had all these, young high school and college age kids that were running around talking like they were professors from Harvard.
They're genetically perfect. And
exactly. And actually there's a part in the movie where they're kind of casting it and they're asking people that the guy, if you remember, where they're asking the kids their opinions on stuff. And at one point Busta Rhymes is like, oh my God, man, like I cannot handle listening to these 19-year-olds say another fucking word. And I think as people who aren't 19 anymore, we probably all feel that way to a certain extent.
Well, I think, I found it funny looking back because, folks, if you're not in, our age, if you're younger, as you get older,
which isn't hard to do, by the way.
No. Time seems to go faster, right? So when you look, when I'm looking back at 2002, it doesn't seem that long to me. But then when I look at a movie, I'm like, it's so timely with what the people were wearing. It's just crappy.
Well, how about the phones and stuff like that? Like when you see
right. On the texting,
like
the early the early forms of texting, and that kind of thing. It was really cool. What I kind of liked about this movie, in a way, and this is not the first movie to do this, by the way, but they really tried to homage the first one in a lot of the scenes, right? So there's scenes that are direct reproductions of, and deliberately, not accidentally, and they don't make any bones about. But what's neat, I'll give you one in particular. By the way, again, folks, if you have not seen this, we're going to spoil it for you. So if you don't care about it, that's
fine.
I'm
sure most of you have on this one.
Yeah, you've probably seen it, right? You've seen it, right? So anyway, the scene in the original Halloween pantry door and then is tilting his head looking at him, that scene. They redo that scene, except they reverse it because it's a reality show. All the kids have cameras. So you see the POV of the victim as Michael Myers is going, which was kind of cool.
The inquisitive canine look.
Yeah, the inquisitive canine look that our good friend Nick Castle, made famous in that movie. But it was I thought that was kind of neat. I thought it was kind of neat where they go into the closet where in the first Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis is hiding, and then Michael Myers is breaking the French slats to get in at her, and they reproduce that. But I was like, did they repair the other ones? I don't know, because they were. I
enjoyed the way they had the guy who was in the mental facility at the beginning.
Yeah,
who literally knew every fact
every
about
serial
killer. And it was cool because when he meets up with Michael, he's rattling off all the details.
Folks,
and at one point,
this is a part of a Manson Brothers where we're going to do a public service announcement, safety announcement too, right? So, from Stone and Skull, if you have a friend that knows all this information about serial killers, our advice to you would be to run as fast as you can.
I'm going to even take that a step further.
Unless they're an FBI agent.
Yeah, if they're not an FBI agent and they're prone to wearing clown masks around and they're very aware
and rattling off statistics about serial killers.
Yeah, you may want to sever the relationship as quickly as possible. And by sever, I don't mean, fighting fire with fire.
We mean in a distance kind of way. And so that's our PSA for you folks. So I hope that helps.
It would be a good idea, and you want to steer clear of that as much as possible.
One thing I will tell you I didn't like about this film, and I didn't like it about the majority of the Halloween sequels. This isn't like a knock on the writing or anything like that. The mask itself, it just seems that they could never, until recently in the newer films. It was almost like they couldn't reproduce the thing to look like it did in the first second film. It looked totally different. It's not the worst one by far. The worst one I think I've seen was in number 4, I think, where it looked totally ridiculous. It had this big nose and whatnot.
I thought I actually noticed, and maybe this was on purpose, as kind of an Easter egg, the hairdo changing from it scene.
It was like
scene.
spiky and
like
the first time you see.
Flat.
Yeah. It was weird, and I don't know if that was intentional. That's an interesting thing. Do you think it was intentional?
It'll be a good question.
Just kind of poke it. Oh yeah, we could ask our special celebrity guest.
When and if we see him, if he decides to pop in. Fortunately, he doesn't think I owe him money, which is was a crock from the previous guest we had, who will remain unmentioned. Mark Ralston.
We won't mention his name, Mark Ralston. The amazing Brad Loree. There he is.
And he's got his Manson Brothers shirt on.
Michael Myers himself.
It's
I'm
Michael
trying to
Myers.
look like a wrestler, Mike.
You do.
You don't have to go too far to do that. Nice. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too, man. Are you coming to Vancouver?
Yeah, soon, I hope.
Are you?
Yeah.
Anytime, yeah. Well, especially to see you.
Yeah,
we're coming to hang out with Michael Myers. We're absolutely
maybe in the fall.
I've got everything arranged.
Nice.
Hey, Brad, I got to tell you, Carlos and I were just talking. You can call him Skull. I mean, he's he's Carlos to me, but Skull and I were just talking, and we were mentioning how we noticed during the shooting of the film that the hairdo on the mask seemed to change styles throughout the course of the shoot. Was that a conscious effort, or were there multiple masks being done? Well, because you had to put them on, so you got to know.
Chris, it's funny you asked that question because Skull. I just watched the movie with this director, writer, producer friend of mine. She's a huge horror fan, especially Halloween. And if you watch the movie, my hair, I look like I'm a member of Duran Duran until
in that one shot.
When I step on the roof, when I first get up to where Jamie is, if you see where my hair goes coming up the stairs, and then when I step out onto the roof, my hair's the girl that was assisting the hair key. I don't want to say she was a little she was new. Let's say she was green. And so, I mean, I'm standing there in the hallway, and I can see that my hair looks like a fucking dandelion. But
yeah, like that first shot of you, like the hair is like, I'm like, what did they do?
I'm clown. Anyway,
so, dude, for the
but I didn't want to
benefit,
because I didn't feel it was my place.
This is a question I think everybody will want to know, and we know it as Hamu, right? But the people watching will know it as hair and makeup. Did you have to go to hair and makeup with the mask on every day to have them tease the hair on the mask, or no?
No, I had to go to makeup to get my eyes blackened.
Okay. Yeah, to be underneath it.
The hair, it was just a Velcro strip in the back, and they would just, I mean, it was 30 seconds to take off and 2 minutes to put on. It was fantastic.
That's funny because Stone only has to walk down to the local pub and talk smack about the bartender's girlfriend to get his eyes blackened.
Yeah, that's true.
Beautiful. Is that why you're wearing the shades? Anyway.
Always, brother.
He's wearing the shades because when you're cool, the sun shines on you 24 hours a day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I was just about to lament the guy in the film who was wearing shades the whole time as some pretentious asshole, but you know, since it's me too.
Brad, I got a question.
All right.
For you. So how fun was it to kick the shit out of Busta Rhymes?
Well, that's an interesting question because the first convention I went to, I had the first dozen fans come up to me and chew me a new one because Busta Rhymes kicked Michael Myers through the window. How could you let that? I said, guys.
Because I wanted to get paid.
Yeah, exactly. They said, go through the window. We'll give you a bunch of money. I said, okay.
So if people don't know, Brad, you are in fact also a stunt performer.
Yes, sir. Correct? Yes.
So I'm going to guess that you did that fight scene yourself, right? Yes. You weren't doubled. Yeah. That's what I kind of figured. Was he doubled?
Awesome. He was doubled for the end scene in the burning garage when he tries to hit Michael with the shovel and Michael grabs it and then throws him against the wall. That was where we doubled.
But that was you. In fact.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The only place in the movie, Mike, that isn't me is at the very end. They reshot the ending because it didn't test well with the audiences. When they open the body bag and his eyes pop open, that wasn't.
So that wasn't you.
Oh, okay. That's the only part in the movie that wasn't me.
In the first fight scene with Busta Rhymes, when he does that spinning kick and all, that's a stunt man, right?
No, that's Busta and that's me.
Get out of here! That really was him. No shit.
Bravo, Busta.
Oh, well, bravo, Busta, because that's not, as you and I know, and Stone knows, is not easy to do.
No, he was I guess he was studying gung fu at the time.
Yeah.
And he was
I wonder if there's another movie where Busta Rhymes drives a minivan. Do you think that there's anyone else out there like that? In all seriousness, no. Brad, let's talk about this a little bit.
What are you talking about?
Let's talk. He's driving a minivan in the movie. Come on, you got.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I forgot.
Carlos, dude, come on. You got to pay attention here. All right, so Brad, let's walk through a little bit the process of how you wound up landing this iconic part.
Okay.
Yeah, what was that? I want to know.
Well, but my first question is, I noticed on the rewatch that this is a Miramax film. So, how many trips did you have to make to Harvey Weinstein's hotel room in order to lock this down?
7? Notice he does it without missing a beat, folks.
Wow. I knew Harvey was a freak, but I didn't know he was
I didn't get to hang with Harvey, but I got to hang with a guy named Paul Freeman, who was the bigwig with Dimension Films. But anyway.
So what was the process? How did this come up for you?
Okay. I was the stunt double for a guy on a low-budget show for Fox called Los Luchadors. It was a kid's show. They were Mexican wrestlers by day and crime by night.
Yeah, I remember that show.
Do you really?
I do. We watch anything with wrestling in it, you know?
Yeah. Well, the coordinator left after 8 episodes, and he left me with the last 5. So I was the stunt coordinator and the lead double. So I was making some pretty awfully good money every week. And episodes, and then we were 99% certain we were going to do a second season, but you're on hiatus, so you go as a professional courtesy. And one of the first ADs, a guy named Brian Knight, was interviewing with the Halloween people, knowing full well he wasn't going to take the job. But during his interview, they said to him they weren't sure who was going to be playing Michael Myers and who their Canadian coordinator match was going to be for Donna Keegan, who's Jamie Lee Curtis's stunt double.
Right.
So Brian says, who she talked to? She talked to Brad Loree. So I get this phone call. I'm in my car. I get this phone call out of the blue from Tracy Long, the production manager. Blah, 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 blah. I thought she said they were looking for a stunt double for Michael Myers, like the Austin Powers, groovy, baby.
Right, yeah.
I thought his career sure has tanked. Anyway, I said, I'm 6'2.5". She's so perfect. Can you come in tomorrow to meet the executives? So I went in there and met Rick and all the producers. And
wait a minute, you're sick. I thought you were. You seemed taller than that to me.
Yeah.
At the time, I'm shrinking every week, Mike.
No, you seemed taller last time I saw you in person.
No,
I mean, we're not short, but we're not 6'3" either. But you seem very tall.
Really?
All right. Yeah. I don't know.
Did you have to try on the jumpsuit?
Maybe I had a little too much of Stone's thermos water.
Don't be stealing my stash, buddy.
Anyway,
so you got that. You did that. You auditioned for it.
I did the walk a few times, and Rick, the director, turned to Paul, the producer, said he should be fine. Paul says, Brad, we got to send you down to L.A. to build the mask, cast your head to build the mask. I said, wait a minute. I got to go to L.A. just to double some hummy actor. They said, no. You're not going to double the guy. You're going to be the guy. And because I'm not a big horror guy, but I love the first Halloween movie and the actor in me. So I said, I got to do this. And
dude, absolutely.
The best movie I ever made, Mike, because they came back for a second season of Los Luchadors, and in the middle of the third episode, the producers walked on and said, that's it, folks, we're done.
Oh, so you got luck. You lucked out on that, though. Oh, man. Wait a minute. I don't understand. Why would they? Don't they have a place in Vancouver they could have made the mask or whatever? No. That's shocking to me.
But if you're an American that's never been up here, not so much today, but back, we're talking 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's 20 years already.
A lot of American producers weren't yet aware that, in fact, there were people up here that knew what they were doing. I mean, for some Americans, it's like going to Mexico, except it's a colder version of Mexico.
But it's shocking to me
so
because Canada is such a. You caught him with that one.
Mexicans and sweaters. That's what this one actor referred to us as. But
Canada has such a booming, like the film industry in Canada is not small. You know, it's huge, and they have all the support players, not just actors. I mean, the crews and directors and producers and all that. That shocks me. But anyway, you got a free trip to LA out of it, I guess.
Free trip to LA, and I got to hang out with Malik, Mustafa's son.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
He was telling me about how Jamie was donating the whole weekend to them. Well, she was doing it. She said, whatever you pay me, I'm going to give to the LA Children's Hospital because she does a lot of work with the kids. Yeah.
Oh, good for her. That's nice to hear.
She was only here 3.5 days. She bought everybody a crew gift.
Oh,
and she was
man.
super kind to me and my girlfriend at the time. And she was terrific.
That's really cool. That's good to hear.
Was your girlfriend at the time upset when you had to kind of make out with her through the mask? Was that a problem?
Have you heard this story, Chris?
No,
I haven't heard it.
The day we were going to shoot that scene, my girlfriend needed to use my truck for the day, so she came to work with me. And as I'm unloading my stunt bags, Jamie comes running up. Are you ready to shoot the scene today? I think we should do it like this. And she grabs me and lays a big kiss on me. And she may have done it intentionally because my girlfriend was right there. My girlfriend was mentally ill. She was anyway. Yeah, I got a lot of shit for that, Chris.
All right. I never knew that would even come about as a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so wait, how long did you have to hang upside down on that thing?
Yeah.
That seemed like it was horrible.
You know what? Mike Donna was really good about getting me down every 30 seconds.
Oh, he was? Oh, thank God. Yeah.
I was never upside down for more than a minute.
Oh, good. I had to do this one thing. I had to lay on the floor.
I wish I could say the same thing.
Well, but you're doing it for a different reason.
That's true.
Yeah, he's doing it to get higher.
I had to hang from a little chain pair of handcuffs in a scene in Crisis, and I'm begging them to yell cut.
Yes,
but they didn't care.
The negligence sometimes, you know, they got so much on their mind.
I don't think it was negligence. I think it was just like, you know, they figured, he's tough. He can handle it.
Probably figured with a neck like that, you'd be like a bulldog in a
well, I'll tell you who had the worst guy. The guy that was wearing the handcuffs actually had the worst of it because he was holding me up and those things were biting into him. So he got the worst of it. But anyway, we digest on that.
Okay,
one.
so Brad, you land this part. Did you have to go through screen tests and that kind of stuff, or was it just like you look good in the suit and you were tall?
Oh no, we did screen tests in the suit, and I'll tell you I think we actually even did a couple shots with this kind of mesh in the eyes. And Mustafa he kiboshed that. He said, no, I want to see that there's a scene behind the eyes.
I don't think in the original film you do see his eyes at all. I think they shot it in a way where you can only see the eye sockets.
Is that right? Well, maybe that's why they thought they should shoot ours that way, because
maybe. All I know is there aren't, in the myriad of sequels that they've made, not every guy that's played the Michael Myers role has gotten the movements correctly. But you nailed it, because they, as Stone and I were talking about before, they, you know, homaged some scenes from the original film, and you were like spot on with it, I thought, absolutely. Anyway. And I'm not just saying that because we're friends. I mean it. I thought you
had the walk and you had the canine head tilt, man.
The canine head tilt. And
I watched Nick Castle over and over and over and over. That was what made Michael Myers so creepy.
100%. His movement. Yeah, it's like a calm determination. You know, it's like that the unstoppable force is coming for you, and he doesn't have to move real fast to do it.
He's walking with purpose and an objective. And he's gonna get there.
He's going to get there. And with still a human-like quality, not a robotic quality, which is hard to do.
So, Bradley, if I may ask, would you consider your crowning achievement from this film the fact that you get to sit across tables from the Manson brothers and make them choke on how much money you make for autographs?
While we're sitting there starving.
We get,
Apart from,
by the way, that pittance we have to split 50-50 too.
It's you guys in Arsenio Hall. This is when you know you've made it, when you're on the Manson Brothers show.
Yeah.
If only my finger were as long, I wouldn't be doing this damn show.
Put that one. We saved that one for your kids' legacy, right? Yeah, I was on the Manson show. Who? What? Don't they owe you money?
Guys, it's great to see you both.
Oh man, I agree. And I have another question for you regarding the cast. Yeah. So who is your favorite person to be in a scene with? And who was a person, I'm not gonna say your unfavorite person, but who was difficult to work with? Not necessarily personality wise, but you know, like in a scene, like they couldn't get something right or they had to shoot it over or whatever.
The only scene that I had a bit of trouble with was my friend Brad, who 2 years after we made the movie, he and I were roommates with another guy for a year. But the guy that I killed with the tripod.
Yeah.
Rick got a little bit impatient with me because I think he skipped a direction, and I can't remember what the issue was, but that was the only time he got a little heated, and I never ever debated it.
You can't.
I'll tell you this: I can't say over one cast member over another, as far as, because everybody was so great to me. I mean, every morning, Busta, I didn't have a lot of interaction conversely with Busta, but every morning in the makeup trailer, he started the day with a big giant bear hug. And I mean,
you can't complain about that.
Oh.
So in general, it was a happy set?
It was as far as I was concerned. Now, I did hear, I know the director and producers were a little put off with Busta. I guess he wasn't always on time to set, and but I never saw any of that. Unless they needed me on set, I stayed out of the way.
There.
You know, even as a coordinator, I let Donna, as a Canadian match to Donna. Donna was in charge of the stunts. I was in charge of helping her find locals that could do the job. I was the one that found the doubles and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So you acted also as kind of almost a second coordinator to her?
Well, the Americans for years have made a habit. If they come up, they find a Canadian to match, and it's a courtesy because it's not in the union paperwork. And some guys come up now and they don't do that. But when you come up and you don't know anybody, and you have
you need a connection.
You need a connection. So that was what I did with her, and I really liked working with Donna. She was like I said, she was super safe, and I don't have a negative thing to say about that experience other than it ended.
Yeah, no, man, I agree with you.
There's the next one, but anyway,
folks, we're going to tell you from personal experience. There's nothing worse than working on a set where people are grumpy and disgruntled and pissed off. It just makes but when you have a happy set, you never want to leave it. It's the greatest collective experience you can have, in my opinion. So wait, I wanted to rewind a little bit to the scene where you kill the kid with the tripod.
Yeah.
So that scene is an homage to an old 1960 British movie called Peeping Tom. And it's a Criterion. You can get the movie on Criterion Collection. It's worth your time to watch it. But that's how this guy, he would film people dying. That was his thing. So he wanted to capture them at the moment of death. So he had this knife at the end of a tripod, and that's how he would kill them.
I never knew that. It's always nice to talk to it.
Well, when one shows up, we'll let you know.
Carlos is a savant on his films.
No way, Mom had me tested, and she said
he doesn't really know anything about anything else besides wrestling and old movies that nobody else has ever heard of. So
that is true. That is true.
Brad, I've got a question, and I'm sorry for rewinding back to the whole convention circuit thing. But we often joke that Robert Englund spent 4.5 minutes in the original Nightmare on Elm Street and now can command like $200 an autograph or for a photo. How much time do you know that you actually spend on camera in this film?
In Resurrection, how much time am I actually on? That's an excellent question. I have no idea.
No idea? No. Okay.
You get a lot of screen time, though. I mean, in this particular Michael Myers film, Michael Myers
there's a lot of time in the middle
screen time
where there isn't you. And actually, one of the things I found very interesting about this and the way that the dynamic worked was they were able to build some tension through like old time technology, where you could have a Palm Pilot and somebody sending you a text saying, "Hey, he's outside the door."
Texting.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting the way they did that and built it up.
Time that was kind of advanced, but but no, I don't, Chris. I don't know how long I was on camera.
Were you on set for the entire shoot, Brad?
I would say yes. I mean, there was probably a day here and a couple days there where it was the beginning and before they all ended up in the house. Once they were in the house, there all the time. But no, I didn't work absolutely every single day. But I would tell you,
the majority of it.
Were there times when they were doing like the closed circuit camera shots that was like second unit stuff you were doing, or was it always kind of?
No, it was usually pretty much main unit. I don't remember there being a lot of second unit stuff. Of course, even when I wasn't working as Michael Myers, if Donna was
doing stunt stuff,
they had I was matched hour for hour with her as best I
nice. Hey,
that's cool.
That sounds like a good payday to me. I have one question that leads into two before we let you go, because I know you're tight.
Yeah.
So between us now, martial artist to martial artist, Bianca Kajic, was she hot?
Super hot.
Okay. Who would win a fight between Bianca Kajic and Katie Sackhoff?
Ooh.
Not a bullshit fight. Full contact.
I gotta lean towards Katie.
Oh, okay. Just really? Seems more athletic.
The role she played in Battlestar Galactica.
True. Very kind of tough, edgy characters. Right?
I chopped her head off and she survived. So I mean, she's a tough rod.
Well, there you have it.
But I love them
there
both.
You have it. Yeah, man. You can't. I mean, we're Stone and I we like them. So that's all I'll say about that.
Absolutely.
They're great girls and great actors too.
And nice to work with.
Super nice. Well,
Even
when
better.
I first met Bianca, she was deathly afraid of Michael Myers, and I mean, I just showed up for the camera test. My guy wasn't even costume, and she was screaming and running away.
That's a great story.
Decided to years, so she started going everywhere with me, holding my hand. So, and anyway, no, I had a special relationship with almost every one of even the kids, and anyway, more stories for next show.
Yes,
awesome.
For sure.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Brad. We appreciate your time.
This has been great stuff, Brad. Thank you so much. We'd love to have you back on the show sometime again. And my God, awfully entertaining. And by the way, thank you for wearing the merch on the show so we can keep actually making some money.
I wear it for all podcasts.
Fantastic thing.
I'm available to you guys 24/7, 365.
You're the best.
And keep up
the good work. We love you, brother.
Thanks. Brad Loree, ladies and gentlemen.
Take care.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Brad. Hey, we want to thank our special guest, Brad Loree, and we're going to go right to viewer email. This one comes to us from Jean-Pierre from Rust Valley. I'm sorry.
Rust Valley, British Columbia.
He asked us, guys, you've been talking Canadian horror all day. What's your favorite unknown Canadian horror film?
Oh, my God.
I'm gonna go with Curtains.
Oh, Curtains. Absolutely. I'm going to have
There's
to
an ice skating scene.
Yeah, that's a great. Actually, Curtains is a great film. Way over.
And Stage Fright would be a close second, I think.
I like Curtains a little better, but Stage Fright's also good. Yeah.
All right. There you go.
I'm sure there's other ones. I just didn't know they were Canadian. What do you guys think? You tell us. What's your favorite Canadian horror movie that you feel is underrated or overlooked?
Bro, they're telling me in my ear we are running out of time.
Okay, then. Let's wrap
it up. Brad. Hey, tell us how to pay the bills.
Yes, we can go to MansonBrothers.com and order some of these T-shirts while supplies last. We're almost out of everything else. We got hats. We got some DVDs left. Blu-rays you'll have to buy on Amazon. We sold them out. We sold out the mugs. We got autographed pictures. We'll autograph everything, MansonBrothers.com. Please also subscribe to the channel. Hit like. Leave us a comment. We love interacting with everybody and answering questions and whatnot. And you guys teach us a lot too, so we appreciate it.
And I'm going to leave one final comment before we go. This movie, as much as it's kind of bashed around, is way better than Halloween Kills. And that's all for us. We got to go. Until next time, tune in next week for another edition of the Manson Brothers Show.
See you later, shitty pants.